Have you ever felt like no one believed in you, that your dreams were too big or maybe just too impractical for your current situation? I want to share a story with you today that proves just how powerful a mother's determination can be. It's about a young mum who decided she wanted more for her family and she wasn't going to let anything stand in her way. It all started with an old second-hand phone. You know the type. The screen is a bit cracked, the battery dies way too fast. That was her only tool. She was a new mum, and while she loved her baby more than anything, she felt a little lost, a little disconnected from the world outside her home. She saw people online talking about e-commerce and building their own businesses from scratch. A little spark ignited inside her. She thought, what if I could do that? When she shared her idea with friends and family, the response was less than encouraging. You with a baby and that old phone, they'd say. You don't have the time, the money, or the experience. Be realistic. Just focus on being a mom. The doubts were loud, and honestly, for a moment, she almost believed them. It's tough when the people closest to you don't see your vision. But then she looked at her sleeping baby, and that little spark turned into a roaring fire. She knew she had to try, not just for herself, but for her child's future. So her journey began. Every spare moment she had, she was on that old phone. During nap times, late at night after the baby was asleep. Even while rocking her baby with one hand, she was watching tutorials with the other. She learned about finding products, setting up an online store, marketing, and customer service. It was a steep learning curve, and there were so many times she wanted to quit. Orders were slow at first. Some days she'd get 0 sales. The doubts would creep back in. Maybe they were right, she'd think, but she refused to give up. She treated every single customer like gold. She took her own product photos, trying to make them look as professional as possible. She engaged with people on social media, building a small but loyal community. She was persistent, day in and day out. And then something amazing happened. Slowly but surely, things started to change. One sale became 2, then 10. People loved her products and her personal touch. They started leaving glowing reviews. Word of mouth began to spread. 6 months after she started with just that old phone and a whole lot of doubt from others, she looked at her sales numbers. Her revenue hadn't just doubled, it had tripled. It was more than she ever imagined. Today, she's not just a solo entrepreneur anymore. Her little business has grown so much that she has hired 2 part-time employees to help her pack and ship orders. She finally bought herself a new phone and a new laptop too, but she keeps the old one in a drawer as a reminder of where she started and how far she has come. This story isn't just about making money, it's about a mother's incredible strength. It's about proving to yourself and to the world that you are capable of amazing things, no matter your circumstances. Her persistence is a testament to the power that lies within all of us. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps me bring you more stories like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, have you ever looked at someone successful and thought, wow, they're so lucky? It's easy to see the shiny end result, the nice car, the big house, the freedom to travel, and just assume it all fell into their lap. But what if I told you that luck has very little to do with it? Let me tell you a story about a guy I know. Let's call him Alex. A few years back, Alex was just like anyone else. He had a regular job, a regular apartment, and a group of friends who loved to go out every weekend. Friday night would roll around, and his phone would blow up with texts, "Hey, we're hitting this new bar," or "Party at Sarah's place. You coming?" And almost every single time, Alex would text back something like, "Sorry guys, can't make it tonight. Have fun." But he wasn't sick, and he wasn't antisocial. While his friends were out ordering another round, Alex was at home, sitting at his small kitchen table. A single lamp illuminating a stack of books. These weren't novels or comics. They were thick, dense books on investing, personal finance, market analysis, and wealth creation. He'd read until his eyes were blurry, highlighting passages, scribbling notes, and building spreadsheets on his old laptop. His friends would sometimes tease him. "Dude, you're missing out. Live a little." They didn't get it. They saw him as a hermit, choosing boring books over good times. What they didn't see was that Alex wasn't just reading toe, he was building. Every page he turned was a brick. Every concept he mastered was another layer of mortar. He wasn't just sitting at home. He was constructing his future, brick by painful, lonely brick. He started small. He opened a brokerage account and invested a tiny amount, money he saved by not going out, by packing his own lunch. He made mistakes. Oh, he definitely made mistakes. He lost money on a bad stock pick once and felt that sickening drop in his stomach. It was tempting to just quit, to sell everything and join his friends at the bar. It would have been so much easier. But he didn't. Instead, he went back to his books. He analyzed what went wrong, what he missed. He learned about risk management, diversification, and the power of long-term, patient investing. He learned that the market is a roller coaster, and the key is not to jump off screaming when it dips, but to have the conviction to hold on, and maybe even buy more when everyone else is selling in a panic. These nights became his ritual. The city lights would twinkle outside his window. The sounds of distant sirens and laughter would float up. But in his small apartment, it was just him, his ambition, and the quiet rustle of turning pages. It was a lonely path. There were no immediate rewards, no applause, no pats on the back. Just the silent, unwavering belief that these sacrifices, these quiet nights of study, would one day pay off. He was playing the long game while everyone around him was focused on the next 24 hours. Years went by, not one or two, but many. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, things started to change. His small investment portfolio began to grow. The power of compounding, a concept he had read about so many times, was no longer just a theory in a book. It was real, tangible growth happening in his account. He started making more from his investments than he was from his side hustles. Then, one day, the returns from his portfolio started to rival his salary. Fast forward to today. Alex isn't just doing okay, he's achieved financial freedom. He doesn't have to work a job he dislikes. His time is his own. He travels, he pursues hobbies he never had time for, but most importantly, he's changed his family's life. He was able to help his parents retire comfortably, ensuring they wouldn't have to worry about money in their old age. He helped his younger sister pay for college, giving her a debt-free start to her adult life. The other day, he ran into one of his old friends from that group. The friend looked at Alex's life now and said, "Man, you got so lucky. I wish I had your luck." Alex just smiled. He didn't bother explaining the countless nights he spent alone. He didn't mention the parties he missed, the vacations he skipped, or the anxiety he felt watching his first investments drop. He did untalk about the discipline it took to save and invest every spare dollar when the temptation to spend was all around him, because he knew the truth. Success isn't a lottery ticket. It's not about a lucky break. It's about what you do when no one is watching. It's built in the quiet, lonely hours of the night. It's forged in the sacrifices you make when everyone else is taking the easy road. It's the sum of all the small, consistent, disciplined choices that no one else sees. The glory, the recognition, the overnight success, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real work, the massive foundation of that success, lies deep beneath the surface, hidden from view. It's the late nights, the early mornings, the relentless study, and the unwavering discipline. So, the next time you see someone who has what you want, don't just see their success. Try to imagine the silent nights they put in to get there. And ask yourself, what are you doing tonight? Are you building your future? Every single day, you have a choice. You can choose immediate pleasure, or you can choose to lay another brick for the future you dream of. The choice is always yours. Success is a lonely road, but it's a journey worth taking. It's not about being lucky. It's about being dedicated when no one is there to cheer you on. It's about becoming your own biggest cheerleader. I hope this story resonated with you. If you found some inspiration in Alex's journey, do me a favor and hit that like button. And make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Because I have so many more stories and strategies to share that can help you build your own future. Your engagement really helps the channel reach and inspire more people just like you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have you ever tried to do something nice for a friend, only to have it backfire in the most hilarious way? Well, let me tell you about my latest coffee run adventure. It all started on a super busy Tuesday morning. My friend, let's call her Sarah, was buried under a mountain of paperwork. She looked up at me with those pleading, "I need caffeine, or I might actually turn into a zombie." She said, "Hey, could you be an absolute lifesaver and grab me a coffee? Just a black Americano, no sugar, please. Unsweetened, totally bitter, just like my soul this morning." I laughed and said, "You got it. 1 cup of bitter soul juice coming right up." So, I head out to our favorite little cafe down the street. The smell of roasted coffee beans hits me the second I walk in. It's that amazing, comforting aroma that just makes everything feel a little bit better, you know? The barista, a cheerful guy named Leo with a cool mustache, asks for my order. I say, "1 black Americano, please." And then, as he's about to make it, a thought pops into my head. A brilliant, albeit slightly misguided thought. I'm thinking Sarah's having such a rough day. A bitter coffee for a bitter soul. No, no, no. We can do better than that. What she really needs is a little sweetness to brighten her day. It felt like a genius move at the time. A secret act of kindness. So I lean in and whisper to Leo, "Actually, can you make that 1 extra sweet? Like super duper sweet. Load it up with sugar, maybe a pump of vanilla syrup too. Let's make it a cup of pure happiness." Leo gives me a slightly confused look, probably thinking, didn't she just say unsweetened? But he just shrugs and gets to work. He hands me this coffee that's practically glowing with sugary goodness. I pay, feeling incredibly proud of myself, like I'm some kind of coffee fairy, sprinkling joy 1 cup at a time. I get back to the office, balancing the cup like it's a precious treasure. I stride over to Sarah's desk with a huge grin on my face and present the coffee to her with a flourish. "Your chariot of caffeinated salvation has arrived," I declare it. She looks up, a genuine smile of relief on her face. "Oh, you are the best. I could kiss you right now." She eagerly takes the cup, brings it to her lips, and takes a big gulp, and then ... her face just freezes. It was a masterpiece of human expression, a slow-motion transition from pure bliss to utter shock, and then to complete and total confusion. Her eyes went wide. She slowly lowered the cup, staring at it as if it had personally betrayed her. She looked at me, then back at the cup, then back at me. She starts, her voice a little shaky. "What ... is this?" I'm still beaming, completely oblivious. "It's your coffee," I say cheerfully. She takes another tiny, cautious sip, as if testing for poison. "This," she says, holding it up, "is the sweetest thing I have ever tasted in my entire life." The whole office turned to look at us. She was laughing so hard she was snorting. You sweetened it, ... with kindness. She gasped between laughs. That is the dumbest, most ridiculous, and sweetest thing anyone has ever done for me. She ended up having to get another coffee, an actual unsweetened one this time, but we spent the rest of the day laughing about my kindness coffee. It just goes to show you, sometimes the best intentions can lead to the funniest results. A simple misunderstanding can become a story you tell for years. And you know what? Even though the coffee was a total failure, my mission was a success. I wanted to add some sweetness to her day, and in the end, I did just not in the way I originally planned. It became a reminder that it's not always about getting things perfect, but about the thought and the love you put into your actions. Even if that action is accidentally creating a diabetic coma in a cup. And honestly, her laughter was way sweeter than any amount of sugar I could have put in that coffee. So, the moral of the story is, if your friend is having a bad day, maybe just get them the coffee they actually asked for. Or, sweeten it with kindness and see what happens. You might just create a legendary story. What's the funniest misunderstanding you've ever had with a friend? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. And if this little tale of my coffee catastrophe made you smile, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. It really helps the channel out, and it ensures I can keep bringing you more stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have you ever ordered something online and received something completely different? I mean, really different. Well, let me tell you about the time I decided to get my groceries delivered. I was feeling a bit lazy, didn't want to go to the supermarket. So I opened up this new grocery app everyone was talking about. I was craving a fresh, healthy salad, so I filled my virtual cart with all the good stuff: crisp lettuce, juicy tomatoes, crunchy cucumbers, some bell peppers, you know the drill. I hit confirm order, paid, and waited patiently for my healthy feast to arrive. A couple of hours later, the doorbell rings. I rush to the door, picturing the amazing salad I'm about to make. The delivery guy hands me a box. It feels ... weird. It's a bit heavy, and it's tall and square. Not at all like a bag of groceries. I bring it inside, my curiosity piqued. I open the box, and what do I find? It's not my fresh, crisp vegetables. No, it's a pot, a terracotta pot with soil and a small green leafy plant sticking out of it. I stood there for a solid minute, just staring. A potted plant. I ordered a salad, and I got a houseplant. My first thought was, okay, simple mistake. They mixed up the orders. It happens. So I grabbed my phone and opened the app to contact customer service. I found the chat support and typed out my issue. Hi, I just received my order, but there seems to be a mistake. I ordered vegetables, and I received a potted plant. I even sent a picture of the little green guy sitting on my kitchen counter, looking quite pleased with himself. I expected a quick apology, a refund, and maybe a discount on my next order. You know, standard procedure. The reply came a few minutes later. Hello, thank you for contacting us. We've reviewed your order. Okay, good. We're on the right track. Then the next message came, and this is where things took a turn for the bizarre. It read, "We see you ordered our fresh vegetable selection." Yes, that's right. I did. I was about to type, and you sent me a plant, but they beat me to it. The next message said, "Our potted vegetable starter is a premium selection from that category." I blinked. Potted vegetable starter. What in the world is that? I looked at the plant again. It kind of looked like a tiny tomato plant. Maybe. I wasn't sure. I typed back, I'm sorry, I don't understand. I wanted vegetables to eat tonight. For a salad. I can't exactly eat a pot of dirt. I was trying to be polite, but my patience was wearing thin, and my stomach was starting to rumble. The customer service agent, let's call them Leafy, replied almost instantly. We understand your desire for fresh produce. However, we believe in providing long-term value to our customers. Long-term value, what are they talking about? Are they a grocery store or an investment firm? I was completely baffled. Long-term value. I just want a cucumber. How is this plant long-term value? And their response is the reason I'm telling you this story. I will never forget it, Leafy replied, and I quote, "Well, sir, a bag of vegetables lasts a week, if you're lucky, but a plant can provide you with vegetables for months. It's the more sustainable and economical choice. It's not just a meal. It's an investment in your future culinary endeavors." I just sat there, phone in hand, utterly speechless. They were serious. They genuinely thought that sending me a plant I had to grow myself was an upgrade, an investment. My hunger was now competing with an overwhelming sense of absurdity. I wanted to be mad, but I couldn't stop myself from laughing. They had a point, in a twisted corporate jargon, completely impractical kind of way. A plant asterisk lasts longer than a bag of lettuce. I can't argue with that logic. So, what happened to the plant? Well, his name is Jerry. He's a tomato plant. He's sitting on my windowsill right now, and I'm proud to say he's actually grown a few tiny green tomatoes. I never did get my salad that night. I ended up ordering a pizza, but I got something better. I got a story, a new green roommate, and a valuable lesson. Sometimes, when life gives you a potted plant instead of vegetables, you just have to laugh and learn how to be a gardener. I guess you could say my grocery order really did become a long-term investment. If you enjoyed my little adventure with Jerry the tomato plant, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. And make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any more of my weird life stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
A student stayed up all night writing a report, nodding off as he typed. Still, he told himself, do your best, even when tired. The next morning, His professor called it the best report in class. If you like this story, click like and subscribe so I can serve you better. Have you ever felt like you're running on a treadmill, day in and day out, but not really getting anywhere? You work hard, you put in the hours. But when you look back, it feels like a blur. What did you actually accomplish this week? This month? If this sounds familiar, I have a simple life-changing habit for you. The night report, morning reward system. Stick around, because this isn't just another productivity hack. It's a way to rewire your brain for success and satisfaction. So, what exactly is this system? It's incredibly straightforward. Every night, before you wind down, you take just 5 to 10 minutes to write a night report. This isn't a long, boring essay. It's a quick summary of your day. What did you accomplish? What challenges did you face? What did you learn? You're basically reporting to your future self. Then, the next morning, you read that report. And here comes the best part. You give yourself a morning reward. This isn't about buying a new car. It's a small, meaningful reward that acknowledges your effort. Let's break down the night report first. The key is to be honest and specific. Instead of writing worked on the project, try completed the first draft of the Q3 marketing proposal. See the difference. One is vague, the other is a concrete achievement. Also, don't just list wins. Note the struggles too. Maybe you got distracted or hit a creative block. Writing it down isn't about beating yourself up. It's about acknowledging the reality of your day. It's like being a scientist of your own life, gathering data without judgment. This simple act of writing creates a powerful sense of closure. You're consciously ending your workday, drawing a line in the sand, which helps you truly disconnect and relax in the evening. Now for the magic on the other side, the morning reward. When you wake up, before diving into emails or news, you read your report from the previous night. This immediately reconnects you with your progress. You see, black on white, that you didn't just waste a day. You moved the needle forward, even if it was just a tiny bit. This combats that feeling of being stuck. After reading the report, you give yourself a reward. This needs to be something you genuinely enjoy, but also something small and sustainable. It could be savoring a really good cup of coffee without your phone, spending 10 minutes reading a chapter of a novel, listening to your favorite song, or even just stretching by an open window. The psychology behind this is powerful. The night report leverages the Zeigarnik effect, which is our brain's tendency to remember uncompleted tasks better than completed ones. By writing down what you've done, you're telling your brain, this is complete for today, which reduces anxiety and helps you sleep better. The morning reward, on the other hand, creates a positive feedback loop. Your brain starts to associate effort and accomplishment from the previous day with a pleasant experience the next morning. This is basic conditioning. You're training your brain to seek out that feeling of accomplishment, making you more motivated and focused throughout the day. Why is this better than just using a to-do list? A to-do list looks forward. It's a list of demands. The night report looks backward. It's a record of achievement. They serve different purposes and work beautifully together. Your to-do list tells you what to do, but your night report tells you who you were. It builds self. Over time, you'll start to see patterns. Wow, I'm always most productive in the morning, or I get really distracted after lunch on Wednesdays. This data is gold. You can use it to optimize your schedule, your environment, and your entire approach to work and life. Let's talk about how to implement this, step by step. First, choose your tool. It can be a physical notebook, a note-taking app on your phone, or a dedicated journal. The medium doesn't matter as much as the consistency. I personally love using a simple, beautiful notebook because the physical act of writing feels more intentional. Second, set a specific time. Maybe it's right after you brush your teeth at night, or just before you turn off your work computer. Make it a non-negotiable appointment with yourself. Your first few night reports might feel a bit awkward. You might write, answered emails, attended a meeting, felt tired. That's okay. Just start. As you continue, you'll naturally become more detailed. Try using 3 simple prompts. What went well today? What was challenging? What am I grateful for? This structure can help guide your thoughts. And remember, this report is for your eyes only. Be brutally honest. No one is grading you. For the morning reward, plan it the night before. This gives you something to look forward to. Write it at the bottom of your night report. Tomorrow's reward: enjoying my tea on the balcony for 10 minutes. This anticipation is a powerful motivator. Keep the rewards simple and accessible. The goal isn't to add another complicated task to your morning routine. It's to inject a moment of intentional joy and recognition. Over time, this small ritual becomes a cornerstone of your day, a moment of peace and self-appreciation before the world rushes in. Think about the long-term impact. After a month of doing this, you'll have a 30-page record of your life. You can flip through it and see your growth, your struggles, and your perseverance. It's an incredible tool for self-reflection and a massive confidence booster. That feeling of "what did I even do last month" will be replaced with a clear, documented history of your efforts and wins. You are building a library of your own resilience. This journal becomes a testament to your journey, reminding you on tough days that you've overcome challenges before, and you can do it again. This system isn't just for professional goals. You can apply it to anything. Learning a new instrument, practiced scales for 15 minutes, struggled with the F chord. Fitness goals, ran 2 miles, felt strong on the hills. Personal development, read 10 pages about communication, practiced active listening with my partner. It's a universal framework for tracking progress and staying motivated in any area of your life. It transforms abstract goals into daily, manageable actions and celebrates the small steps that lead to big transformations. So, I challenge you to try it. Just for 1 week. Commit to writing a night report and giving yourself a morning reward every day for 7 days. See how you feel. Notice if you sleep better. Notice if you feel more focused in the morning. Notice if you feel a greater sense of control and accomplishment. What have you got to lose? A few minutes a day. What have you got to gain? A more intentional, motivated, and fulfilling life. It's about ending your day with reflection and starting your day with intention. That's a powerful combination. This simple habit can truly be a game changer. It helps you see the value in your daily efforts and builds a sustainable cycle of motivation. You stop chasing the finish line and start enjoying the journey, one day at a time. So tonight, before you go to bed, take out a piece of paper and write your first night report. Report on your day, and tomorrow morning, reward yourself. You've earned it. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, give this video a like, and consider subscribing for more tips on living a more intentional life. Let me know in the comments if you're going to try the night report system. I'd love to hear how it goes for you. See you in the next video. laughing, and soon we were both absolutely howling. We were laughing so hard that tears were streaming down our faces. We were clutching our stomachs, completely losing it over the sheer absurdity of me eating their phone. It's now our go-to inside joke. Anytime one of us zones out, the other just asks, "So, did you eat the phone, too?" It's a good reminder that sometimes the best moments come from our brain's most spectacular fails. Have you ever had a moment like that? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. You were just trying to send a sweet voice message to your crush, but your phone had other plans. A tiny slip of your finger, and the message flew straight to your manager instead. The problem? You had whispered, in the softest romantic tone, "Thinking about you before sleep makes my day perfect." 30 seconds later, your manager replied, "Thanks, but please remember the meeting tomorrow, Sue." Panicked, your soul left your body. Your ancestors felt embarrassed for you. You tried to fix it by sending a second message. "I didn't mean you," but autocorrect betrayed you again and sent, "I do mean you." Now the manager thinks you're deeply in love, your crush thinks you're ignoring them, and you regret everything. Birth. The whole situation is so ridiculous that you can't help laughing at yourself.
You know that feeling when you just want the ground to swallow you whole? Yeah, I had one of those moments, and it happened in the most public place imaginable, the gym. Picture this. I'm relatively new to lifting, still figuring things out, trying my best not to look like a lost puppy among all the seasoned pros. I was attempting a deadlift, focusing so hard on my technique, making sure my back was straight, my core was engaged. You know the drill. I was in my own little world, just me and the barbell. After I finished a set and put the weight down, feeling pretty good about myself, a super fit trainer who I'd seen around walks past me. He gives me a nod and says, with a big smile, "Nice form." Now, here's where things take a turn. The gym music was blasting, my heart was pounding in my ears, and all I heard was, "Nice farm." My brain just short-circuited. Farm? What farm? I don't have a farm. Does he think I'm a farmer? Is this some weird new gym slang I don't know about? For a split second, I was just utterly baffled. But you know how you just want to be polite and agreeable, especially when someone you think is cool talks to you. So my mouth decided to work faster than my brain. I puffed out my chest, feeling weirdly proud of this phantom farm I apparently owned, and replied, loud enough for a few people nearby to hear, "Oh, thank you. My family doesn't actually have a farm, but I really appreciate the compliment." Silence. Complete and utter silence. The kind of silence that's so loud it feels like a physical thing. The guy who was doing bicep curls in front of the mirror stopped mid-curl. The woman on the treadmill slowed down to a walk. And the trainer? His smile just froze. His eyebrows shot up to his hairline, and he just stared at me, completely bewildered. He blinked once, twice, and then he slowly said, I said, "Nice form. Your lifting form." Oh, the realization hit me like a ton of bricks. Or maybe like the dumbbell. The trainer nearly dropped on his foot because he started laughing so hard. And he wasn't the only one. A little chuckle started from the guy doing curls. Then the woman on the treadmill let out a giggle. And soon it was like a wave of laughter spreading through the entire weight room. People were literally pointing at me, but not in a mean way. It was just pure, unadulterated amusement at my expense. My face went from pale to a shade of red I didn't know was humanly possible. I felt my soul trying to exit my body. I wanted to crawl under the nearest weight rack and just stay there until closing time. It was the single most embarrassing moment of my life. I just stood there, frozen, thinking, this is it. I have to move to another city, change my name, and never show my face in a gym again. But then something amazing happened. The trainer, still wiping tears from his eyes, came over and clapped me on the shoulder. He said, "Man, that's the best thing I've heard all week. Seriously, don't worry about it. But for the record, your form asterisk is asterisk actually good." The guy from the mirror came over and was like, "Dude, I needed that laugh, thank you." Suddenly the embarrassment started to fade, and I found myself laughing along with them. It was just so absurd, so ridiculous. I had proudly accepted a compliment about my non-existent farm in the middle of a packed gym. From that day on, I wasn't just the new guy anymore. I became farm guy. People would say hi to me, ask how the crops were doing, or if I needed help plowing the fields. Instead of being a moment of pure cringe, it actually broke the ice. It made the gym feel less intimidating and more like a community. It taught me that it's okay to look silly, it's okay to make mistakes, and sometimes the most embarrassing moments become the best stories. It also taught me to maybe turn down my headphones just a little bit. So, yeah, I don't have a farm, but I do have a killer story and a great reminder not to take myself too seriously. And honestly, I wouldn't trade that for anything. So next time you do something embarrassing, just own it. Laugh at yourself. You might just make someone's day, and you'll definitely have a great story to tell. Thanks for listening to my gym confession. If you have any funny, embarrassing stories of your own, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to read them. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.
You know that feeling when you're at karaoke, the energy is electric, and you just no asterisk, you're about to own the stage. That was me last Friday night. I was feeling unstoppable, like a rock star in the making. My song comes on, the one I've been practicing in the shower for weeks. The intro starts. The crowd is hyped, and I'm ready to deliver the performance of a lifetime. I grab the mic, take a deep breath, and as the beat drops, I let out the most powerful, earth-shattering line you've ever heard. I scream at the top of my lungs, I'm a tiger in the night. Yeah, I'm channeling my inner beast, feeling the raw power of the jungle course through my veins. I'm hitting the high notes. I'm doing a little shoulder shimmy. I am the moment. But then, silence. The entire room just stops. The backing track is still playing, but every single person has stopped singing along. They're all just staring at me, not in awe, but in utter confusion. It was like I had just announced that the sky was green and you could hear a pin drop, except for the faint synth of the 80s track still playing. My friends in the front row are the first to break. It starts as a little snicker from one of them, then another lets out a full-on snort, and within seconds, my entire support system has devolved into a puddle of uncontrollable laughter. They're pointing at me, clutching their stomachs, tears streaming down their faces. I'm standing there, mic still in hand, completely bewildered. What was so funny? Was my tiger impression that good? Then my friend Sarah gasps for air long enough to shout the actual lyric at me. It wasn't "I'm a tiger in the night." No. The actual lyric, the one the artist intended for a song about late-night loneliness, was, "I'm tired of the night." Oh, the realization hit me like a freight train. Tired, not tiger. I went from being a fierce, nocturnal predator to just a very sleepy person complaining about their bedtime. My face went through about 50 shades of red. I wanted the floor to swallow me whole. I just stood there, mortified, while the entire bar roared with laughter. I slowly lowered the microphone, gave a weak, awkward bow, and retreated back to my table in shame. I spent the rest of the night replaying the moment in my head, cringing so hard I think I pulled a muscle. But you know what? Looking back on it now, I have to say, my version was way cooler. Who wants to be tired of the night when you can be a tiger in the night? It's just better. So, if you see me at karaoke again, you better believe I'm sticking to my version. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories of my public humiliation. The doctor kindly said, "Drink more water." You confidently heard, "Eat more butter." So you went home and ate butter like it was medicine. After 2 days, you proudly returned to the clinic. "Doctor, I followed your instructions. I ate a whole box of butter." The doctor nearly fainted. "What?" I said, "Water." You realized the misunderstanding. You wanted to bury your face in the floor. But the nurse in the corner was laughing uncontrollably. So you laughed too. Congrats. You became the patient with the funniest misunderstanding of the week.
Have you ever had one of those moments where you try to be super deep and motivational, and it just completely backfires? Let me tell you about something that happened to me last week. It was one of those days where I was feeling on top of the world, like I could conquer anything. I had just finished a great workout. My coffee tasted amazing, and I was ticking things off my to-do list like a superhero. I was in the zone, feeling like the main character of my own life story. So I'm in the middle of this productivity high and my phone rings. It's an unknown number, which usually I'd ignore, but feeling bold, I decided to answer it. I picked it up with a confident, "Hello?" A voice on the other end, a bit muffled, asked, "Hi, can I speak to the owner?" Now, in my hyper-motivated state, my brain didn't even consider the logical possibilities. It didn't think about my apartment, my car, or anything tangible. My mind went straight to the philosophical. Without a second of hesitation, I puffed out my chest, stood a little taller, and replied with all the conviction I could muster, "Yes, speaking. I own my life." I imagined the person on the other end being blown away by my profound statement. I pictured them pausing, reconsidering their own life choices, maybe even shedding a single inspired tear. I was ready for them to say, "Wow, man, that's deep." I needed to hear that today. I held the phone, beaming with pride, waiting for the applause that was surely coming. But instead of applause, there was just silence. A long, awkward, deafening silence. It stretched on for what felt like an eternity. I started to second-guess myself. Was it too much? Did I come on too strong? Maybe they hung up? Finally, after the longest 5 seconds of my life, the voice on the other end cleared his throat and said, very slowly, "Sir, I'm calling about the motorcycle for sale." I meant the owner of the motorcycle. Oh, the motorcycle. The one I'd posted on an online marketplace just an hour earlier. The blood rushed to my face. I felt my ears turn bright red. All that main character energy just deflated like a sad balloon. I wanted the ground to swallow me whole. My grand, life-affirming declaration was actually just a hilariously misplaced response to a guy wanting to buy my old bike. I mumbled something like, "Oh, right, yes, that's me too. I own that as well." I was so embarrassed I could barely form a sentence. I was bracing myself for him to hang up or call me a weirdo. But then, a small chuckle came from the other end of the line. A quiet little laugh. And then it got a bit louder. He was actually laughing. He said, "Hey, no worries, man. I gotta say, that's the best answer I've ever gotten. I own my life. I'm gonna use that." Hearing him laugh, all my embarrassment just melted away, and I started laughing too. We both just stood there, two complete strangers, laughing our heads off over the phone. It's funny how life works. One minute you're trying to be a philosopher king, the next you're just a guy trying to sell a used vehicle. But that little moment of connection was actually better than the imaginary round of applause I had been hoping for. It turned a potentially cringy situation into a genuinely funny human interaction. It was a good reminder that even when we mess up or make fools of ourselves, sometimes the best thing to do is just to laugh it off. We're all just trying to navigate our lives, and sometimes we take a wrong turn and declare ownership of our existence to a potential customer on Craigslist. And you know what? He did end up coming to see the motorcycle. When he got to my house, he looked at me with a big grin and said, "So you're the owner, huh?" We had another good laugh about it. He told me he'd been having a really stressful day, and my ridiculous answer completely turned it around for him. He said it was a sign that he should buy the bike to go on more adventures and, well, own his life a little more. In the end, I sold the motorcycle, and I also got a fantastic story out of it. And maybe in a weird, roundabout way, my little motivational speech wasn't a total failure after all. That experience got me thinking about all the other little miscommunications and funny blunders we have in our daily lives. We're all so busy trying to present a perfect, polished version of ourselves to the world, especially online. We curate our feeds, we filter our photos, and we craft the perfect captions. But the truth is, life is messy. It's awkward and unpredictable, and full of moments where you say the absolute wrong thing at the absolute wrong time. And honestly, those are often the best moments. Those are the moments that become the stories we tell for years. They're the moments that connect us to other people in a real way. Think about it. When you're with your best friends, what do you talk about? You don't usually talk about the time everything went perfectly according to plan. You talk about the time you tripped on stage, the time you accidentally called your teacher mom, or the time you confidently declared yourself the master of your destiny to a guy who just wanted to know the mileage on your Honda. It's our imperfections, our silly mistakes that make us relatable. They make us human, so maybe we should embrace those moments a little more. Instead of cringing, maybe we should just laugh. That phone call taught me a valuable lesson. It's great to feel empowered and to take ownership of your life. That's a powerful mindset to have. But it's also important not to take yourself so seriously all the time. Life is going to throw you curveballs, and you're going to swing and miss. You're going to say dumb things. You're going to have moments of pure, unadulterated cringe. And that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's part of the fun. It's what makes the journey interesting. So the next time you have a moment like that, a moment where you feel your face turning red and you wish you could just disappear, I want you to remember my motorcycle story. Remember that on the other side of that embarrassment might just be a shared laugh and a great connection. Let go of the need to be perfect. Embrace the awkward. Laugh at yourself. Because at the end of the day, owning your life isn't just about the epic, victorious moments. It's also about owning the silly, embarrassing, and wonderfully human ones too. Those are the parts that truly make your story unique. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever said without thinking? Drop it in the comments below. Let's all have a good laugh together. It's a safe space here, I promise. After all, I just told you all about my philosophical sales pitch. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like this video if it made you smile and subscribe for more stories. Go out there and own your life and your motorcycle sales. See you next time.
You were walking in the mall when a girl waved in your direction. Your heart jumped. You waved back like a hero returning from war. Then you noticed her friend standing behind you. Your hand froze mid-air. You regretted everything. But the girl saw your awkward move, and she burst out laughing, which somehow made it even funnier and a little less embarrassing.
Have you ever had a moment so embarrassing you just wanted the ground to swallow you whole? Picture this. You're walking down the street, maybe feeling a little bit good about yourself. You've got your favorite outfit on, the sun is shining, and you're listening to a song that makes you feel like the main character in a movie. Life is good. Suddenly, from behind you, you hear it. A clear, enthusiastic voice calls out, "Hey, handsome." Your heart does a little flutter kick. Could it be? Are they talking to you? Your brain goes into overdrive. You start running through all the possibilities. Is it someone you know? A secret admirer? Maybe today is the day your life turns into a romantic comedy. You decide to take the plunge. This is your moment. You slow your pace, Take a subtle breath to compose yourself and start to turn around. But you don't just turn. Oh no, you execute the smoothest, most cinematic turn you can possibly manage. You imagine the slow-motion cameras, the gentle breeze ruffling your hair. You summon your best, most charming movie star smile, the one you've practiced in the mirror 1,000 times. It's a mix of confidence, mystery, and just a hint of vulnerability. You are ready for your close-up. As your turn completes, your eyes lock onto the source of the voice. It's a person, yes, but they're not looking at you. Their gaze is directed downwards. And there, sitting proudly at their feet, is a golden retriever with a big, goofy grin on its face, tail wagging like a metronome on fast forward. The person repeats, "Who's a handsome boy?" "You are, yes, you are," while scratching the dog behind the ears. And you're just standing there, frozen. Your $1,000,000 smile is still plastered on your face, but it feels like it's starting to crack. The movie star charm has evaporated, replaced by the cold, hard realization of what just happened. They were talking to their dog. Their very handsome, very good boy of a dog. You stand there, a statue of social awkwardness. Your brain is scrambling for an exit strategy, but it's coming up completely blank. Do you pretend you were just stretching? Maybe you were turning to look at a particularly interesting pigeon, but it's too late. The damage is done. Your slow, dramatic turn and award-winning smile were not subtle. You have been caught. The dog, meanwhile, looks up. It seems to make eye contact with you, and I swear, in that moment, it looks proud. It knows it's the handsome one. It gives a little huff as if to say, "Yeah, that's right. I'm the star of this show." You, on the other hand, have never felt more defeated. You feel a blush creeping up your neck, a warmth that has nothing to do with the sun. Then comes the worst part, the ripple effect. A couple sitting on a nearby bench who had a front row seat to your entire one-act play of humiliation starts to chuckle. It's a small sound at first, but it quickly grows into full-blown laughter. Then the dog's owner finally looks up, sees you standing there with your ridiculous, frozen smile, and they try to stifle a laugh too. But it's no use. Soon, it feels like the entire street is in on the joke and you are the punchline. You slowly, painfully let your smile melt away. You drop your gaze to the pavement, hoping it might open up a portal to another dimension. You want to say something, anything, to salvage the situation, but your mouth has forgotten how to form words. All you can manage is a sort of weird, strangled nod before you turn and walk away. Or rather, you speed walk away, trying to put as much distance as possible between yourself and the scene of the crime. You don't look back. You just keep walking, your face burning, replaying the moment over and over in your head. The slow turn, the hopeful smile, the proud dog, the laughter. Each replay is like a fresh wave of embarrassment washing over you. You start to question every decision you've ever made that led you to this exact point in time. Why did you wear this shirt? Why did you walk down this street? Why did you have to be so extra with the turn? For the rest of the day, you feel a phantom cringe. Every time you think about it, you physically recoil. You tell yourself it's a funny story you'll laugh about one day. Maybe in 10 years. Or 20. Or on your deathbed. But right now, it's just pure, uncut mortification. You finally get home, close the door, and lean against it, letting out a long, pained groan. You look at your own reflection, and you can't help but think, well, at least the dog was handsome. You decide that from now on, if you ever hear someone call out, "Hey, handsome," again, you're not turning around. Unless, of course, you're walking your own dog. Then you'll know for sure they're talking to the right handsome boy. Have you ever had a moment like this? A time when you spectacularly misread a situation and wanted to just disappear? Share your most embarrassing "they weren't talking to me" story in the comments below. Let's all have a laugh and feel a little less alone in our awkwardness. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about the wonderful, weird, and cringy moments that make life interesting. See you next time.